and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you are new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. With me today is my fellow Termite, Manny Cruz. Say hi.
I'm here to help you, son.
Or I should have said fellow shyster, but anyway. But yeah, so this is a review for The Pest That Came to Dinner, released on the 11th of September 1948. It was released sometime in 1959 as a Blue Ribbon reissue. It's the 533rd in the series, and it's directed by Art Davis. Fortunately, I can't show you the full cartoon, otherwise I will get blocked. So, you can find this on the Looney Tunes Superstars Porky Pig DVD set. Now, just a brief synopsis, in case you haven't seen this one, and I know this one is probably not as popular as some of the ones that you may have seen, but all that happens here is that the world's biggest termite named Pierre, of course it is attacking Porky's house, so Porky seeks the help of an exterminator who offers many ways for Porky to get rid of the termite, but to no avail.
What it'll do? It'll send that little pest right up to termite heaven.
Oh, let's just, there's not really much by way of trivia here. I mean, the title is a play on the movie The Man Who Came to Dinner that was released in 1942. And someone's pointed out that this shyster character seems to be inspired by Sid Stone, who was a popular comedian around this point, who did the whole, here's what I'm gonna do kind of point man. But I'm not really convinced. But hey, he was also on vaudeville, so it's possible. Let me know in the comments if this is the case or what you think it might be. So Manny, what did you think of this one?
I actually never saw this cartoon before prior to this. I do have the Porky Pig DVD that it was on, but I never had the opportunity to watch the whole thing. But I am in the process of watching every cartoon in order. I'm still in 1939, so I still got a long way to go. The only part of the cartoon that I recognize actually was the part where Porky was on the banister sliding down, and then Pierre, chews it up into like a replica of Porky's head. And for those of you that watched Cartoon Network back in the 90s and 2000s, that clip of him sliding down the banister was in the old Pork Jam music video that they had on Cartoon Network. So that was all of this cartoon that I knew prior to this watching review. And there were, like I said, some pretty good jokes, some musical cues that caught my attention, some little details.
My little cold black rose, you better go to sleep and let those eyelids close.
It was cool seeing this. Like, of all the shorts that I've seen so far with you, this is the first one that's been completely brand new to me.
Beautiful. I figured at some point it was going to happen, but speaking of the banister gag, that is a very surreal joke because you've got the termite creating this Porky's head, and then for whatever reason it just sticks its tongue out. I thought that was very bizarre, but he gave me a chuckle, so you know what? It's strange, but hey, it's funny. But just a few bits I did like. Now, of course, every single woodcutter-esque character in the cartoons always seems to be some French-Canadian character named Pierre. It happened in so many cartoons. I wonder if any Canadians watching this are sick of that stereotype. It's like, oh, great. It's Pierre again.
Do we know any Canadians by any chance?
Nah. I don't know any Canadians.
Never at all. Oh,
Nah.
I'm wearing a blue shirt by the way today. It's a very nice color of blue.
Yes, I'm sure you'll love that. I also like that little touch with the toothpick, where after every meal, a lot of people like to use the toothpick, of course, and like here, Pierre's got the toothpick, but of course he's grinding down the toothpick as well. I don't know, I just thought it was a nice little touch. And then there's one small little bit, and I'll get you to point out one interesting thing that you let me know about, but the animation on the bat when Pierre gets to it, that hitting Porky's head, I thought was pretty nice, but it definitely it was interesting in terms of the fade outs. I mean, what were you telling me about the fade outs?
One, I don't know if I want to call it a criticism, but one thing that caught my attention is that I think every single fade out in this cartoon, there was about, 3, 4, 5 of them. I know, like, when they introduced Sure Shot, they did a swipe on the screen. I think that's the proper terminology. But every fade out seemed awkward to me. It was either something with the timing of the gag, it was either something with the music that just didn't synchronize well, but it's just, I don't know, it felt like every fade out was disjointed to me. And I think you kind of brought up the same thing. And actually going into the fade out, I don't know about you, but the ending gag felt flat to me. Something about that transition didn't work, because right near the end where Porky starts imitating the termite, and I'm thinking Porky's going to give Sure Shot the business. And then you see the final gag where they're making the furniture, and I'm thinking they're going to hook up Sure Shot to do something cruel and insane as payback, and nothing happens. And I'm like, why does this feel so disjointed?
Yeah, they did set up earlier on in the cartoon that Pierre can make this wonderful looking furniture, right? So I guess that sort of built that sort of is in addition to that. But you're right, there was no real comeuppance for Sure Shot, and yeah, the ending, like, it felt like it just needed an extra 20 seconds for something to happen to Sure Shot. Maybe have him, I don't know, paint the varnish or something on this new furniture. They could have done that, but in any case, it's a fair point to make.
Keep your chin up, pal. Now, as I said before, I'm here to help you, son.
You do have to admire how Sure Shot looks. I think he's just one of the most typical looking shyster characters everywhere, complete with the splats. He's got his open shoes thingy, the hat, and always smiling.
Oh, that grin I don't know. Well, the one thing you always say that you never get bored watching Arthur Davis cartoons is the animation. The animation was absolutely interesting. With Sure Shot, his grin made me laugh every single time. And I'm just like, he's oozing how full of baloney he is. I had to censor myself. And it's just by the grin, it's like, oh my God, he is the biggest shyster in the world. And it's sold so well.
Yeah, as I always say, absolutely. And I just love that sign. So just to slowly wind this one down, because there really isn't that much to talk about. See, in terms of rating, I laughed. Okay, yes, the ending fell a bit flat and some of the fade outs were a little bit iffy, but I laughed. It's a nice premise. It's one of those cartoons where, okay, it's no masterpiece, but hey, it's fun. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. I think it's solid. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Fuzzy waterfall, I'm calling you. We can share it all beneath a ceiling of blue.
What would you give it, this one?
You read my mind. I was thinking the same thing. Some funny gags. Animation's really nice. A few little musical cues that I thought were kind of cute. 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I think that's about right with this one. So, yeah, so that'll just about do it with this one. So, I mean, not every review is going to be a 25-minute monster or anything. So,
especially with me talking. I know.
You've been a good boy in this one. So,
yay.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching this review. Feedback is always welcome. And until next time, take care.
I'm here to help you out, son.